What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. It's to España, to the Bernabeu. It's Real Madrid taking on Manchester City on Tuesday, 9th of May 2023 with an 8 PM BST kickoff time. It's the Champions League semi-final, first leg. Huge game. Anyone that's heading out to Spain over today and tomorrow, have a great trip and please be safe as well. Alternatively, if you're wanting to watch in the UK, the game is live on BT Sport. I'm also going to be doing a live watch along for this game. Link will be out to that later on today for you to set your reminders for. But before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. Very close now to 29,000 subscribers, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Social media links there in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, my email also in the description too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries, TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Leave a thumbs up, 100 likes is the aim. Do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below, including your score and team prediction for this game. Finally, this video is sponsored, like all my previews for this season, and it is brought to you by BetMate. They've got a £500 pot rolling for this game, £5 entry fee, paying up to the top 30 places, with the winner getting a whopping £150. BetMate is a free app to download. Just use the link in the description, and if you use code JSGC10 on sign up, you'll get £10 in free bets, and you can use them free bets to come and join this pot for free. BetMate, very much like fantasy football, you get points awarded for things like goals, assists, tackles won, saves made, things like that. So very much like fantasy football. If that's your thing, then you'll enjoy BetMate. Do remember, the normal rules do apply. It is only available to those in the United Kingdom only, and you must be 18 or over to enter. And we'll speak more about BetMate later in the video. So I'm going to talk about Manchester City first, because I don't normally speak about City, so I thought I'll change it up and we'll speak about City first, because we're unbeaten in 20 games. We knocked out RB Leipzig in the last 16, and we knocked out Bayern Munich in the quarter-final. And you just feel like with City knocking out a prestigious European team in Bayern Munich, we're just levelling up. And it just feels like we're going up here against the end-game boss in Real Madrid, the same team that broke our hearts last season with 2 late strikes to send it to extra time after it looked like City were on the way to Paris for the Champions League final. 2 late strikes, sent it into extra time. Madrid got all the momentum and they knocked us out of the Champions League. So very important here, what lessons have been learned for City, and what might be even more important is we're going to the Bernabeu first for the first leg, not for the return leg, for the second leg. That's going to be in Manchester as well, and that could just be crucial, because if I'd rather be at home second leg rather than the first, in my complete honest opinion. Now, Real Madrid, to get to this stage, knocked out all English teams in the knockout phases, knocked out Chelsea in the quarterfinals, and knocked out Liverpool in the last 16. And they'll be thinking to themselves, well, English teams, no problem. Well, I'm going to tell Real Madrid fans that are watching this right now, you're going up against the very best team in England. We aren't Liverpool. We aren't Chelsea. We are, if Real Madrid underestimate us, the team that will knock them out of this competition. Real Madrid have to take us very, very seriously, just like we need to take them very, very seriously. And it's going to be a really important, really good clash here, because you're looking at arguably one of the best teams in Europe in Manchester City, taking on a team that's been there, done that, worn the t-shirt, who's got all the experience to know what it takes to get the job done, make it to the Champions League final, and to go on and win the European Cup. They're the team that have done it the most times. They're the most successful team in the Champions League. So it's going to be very difficult for Manchester City. But equally, I think it's going to be very difficult for Real Madrid as well. We'll have 2 very close games, is what I am expecting. And what I want to see from City, more than anything else, no fear. Clinical in front of goal. Put our chances away. If we do that, we go through. That's where we went wrong last year. Speak about defence all you want, but we had numerous opportunities to have the game killed off in Manchester and in Madrid. We didn't. To knock out Real Madrid, you've got to put them to the sword, because sometimes you can be 2 goals ahead with a couple of minutes remaining, and it's not enough. And that's what Manchester City need to do. If there's an opportunity to go out there, score 2, 3, 4 goals, go and do it. If there's an opportunity to go and win by 2, 3, 4 goals, we need to do it. And that is so important, because if you don't, Real Madrid will punish you. They do it time and time again. We found that out last season. We need to learn our lessons for that this season. Now, Real Madrid only unbeaten in 1 game. City, 20 games unbeaten on a brilliant run. Real Madrid, though, lost a couple of games ago. In La Liga, they lost to Real Sociedad after resting players and rotating players to keep their players nice and fresh. They can do that because they're third in La Liga. They're trailing Atletico Madrid by 1 point, but they're trailing Barcelona at the top by 14 points with 5 games to go. La Liga, it's done and dusted. Barcelona are going to win La Liga, so Real Madrid, they can rest all their players. Got a match against Getafe at home. They can make 11 changes if they want to keep their squad nice and fresh. Manchester City, on the other hand, we've got a huge Premier League game against Everton because we're just 1 point clear at the top of the Premier League. We've not got any wiggle room at the top. So Manchester City, we need to go strong. So fatigue could be a big issue here for Manchester City. Real Madrid, though, did have to go strong at the weekend in the Copa del Rey final. They won 2-1, beating Osasuna. It was 2 goals for Rodrigo, so a player to look out for here. So, again, the season, it's coming to a conclusion. Fatigue is always going to be an issue, and when you're competing for trophies left, right and centre, I feel like that's more the case here for City than Madrid. Madrid aren't winning La Liga. They've already won the Copa del Rey. All focus for them now is on Manchester City and trying to win the Champions League. Now, domestic form, to me, means absolutely nothing. It all comes down to these 180 minutes. Real Madrid need a result to take to the Etihad. They need to win this game. First legs, they're so key. Since we've got rid of this away goal ruling, to me, first legs have become even more important. Psychologically, more than anything else, you need to have an advantage to take with you. When we was away from home against Leipzig, we picked up, it was a disappointing draw. We should have won the game. But it was an advantage for City because Leipzig didn't win in front of their own fans. To come to Manchester and needing to win is a very difficult thing to do. City's home form since we've got back from the World Cup has been nothing short of exceptional. So if Real Madrid need to come to the Etihad and they need to win that game, it's going to be very difficult for them to be able to do that. So Manchester City, this first leg here, if we can get a result at the Bernabeu, I think that puts us in a really good position to make it to Istanbul. But can't take anything for granted. Now, Manchester City, we have nearly a full squad to go from. I don't have any injury update on Cole Palmer. Do you regard him as a first-team squad player or not? I don't know. Depends how you look at it. I think the bigger question here is Nathan Ake. Went off injured in our match at the weekend against Leeds United. Did 70 minutes, just come back from a hamstring injury. We're waiting for him to be assessed. City don't seem to be too concerned, but could be a doubt for this game. I think it'll be important to see Manchester City when they announce their travelling squad to Madrid, who is on that plane, and if Nathan Ake is, that tells me he is fit to feature at the very least. If he travels to Madrid, anyone that travels to Madrid, you're fit to start in that game. So that'll be really interesting. I think if Nathan Ake does travel, he could well start in this game. So I'm going to pop up my team prediction now for you guys. And this is very difficult. I've put this in mind that I think Nathan Ake is a doubt, and I'm not too sure he will be starting this game. So I think it's going to be near enough the same team that did the job over 2 legs against Bayern Munich. Ederson in goal. I've gone with Walker as my only change from that game, with Nathan Ake potentially missing out. So Walker on the right-hand side to try and deal with the threat of Vinicius Jr.'s pace on their left-hand side. I've got Dias and Akanji as our back 3. I've got John Stones and Rodri as our 2 holding midfielders. Gundogan and De Bruyne are further ahead of them. Bernardo on the right wing because he's just a right nuisance. He had a brilliant game against Bayern Munich, in particular at the Etihad Stadium. So I'm starting Bernardo on that right wing, Jack Grealish on the left wing, and Erling Haaland going up top. If it is Nathan Ake's fit, there's a decision to be made for Pep. Is it going to be Akanji, who did a brilliant job over 2 legs, dealing with the threat and pace of Bayern Munich? Or do we go with Kyle Walker, who did a great job until he got injured and had to be subbed off against Madrid last season in keeping Vinicius Jr. quiet? And Vinicius Jr. could hold all the keys here for Real Madrid in trying to unlock Manchester City's high line and our defence. I suspect City will go a little bit more cautious, sit a little bit deeper. Means Real Madrid need to be a little bit more creative and certainly clinical in front of goal. So looking at the likes of Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo, they need to put their opportunities away. I don't need to sit here and speak about how good Karim Benzema is. We already know how good he is, and he is a threat that City need to deal with. And hopefully Dias, fingers crossed, can get that job done. We do have other players from the bench, the likes of Foden, Mahrez, Laporte, Phillips, Alvarez, one of Ake, Walker or Akanji potentially as well. It's a strong bench. So Manchester City got no reason here not to keep the squad nice and fresh. And if players are looking tired at any one point at the Bernabeu, don't be scared to change it. In particular, if it's not going right for Manchester City, don't be stubborn. Don't be what Pep Guardiola has done in other matches in the Champions League, not making any subs. It's all about keeping that squad nice and fresh. We're looking at the potential T word, the treble. And the only way you go about that is through being mentally strong when you are physically feeling very tired. And Pep Guardiola, as he said in that All or Nothing documentary at that time, you're feeling tired, fuck you. And that's what the attitude that City need to have, that elite mentality, because we're going up against the very best team in the world who have that mentality. So Manchester City, we need to turn up in Madrid, try and get a good result to bring back to the Etihad. To me, anything other than a loss or a win, a draw or a win for Manchester City would be obviously advantage Real Madrid. Ideally, Manchester City want to be having a win or a draw would be great. However, if we're to lose this game, we need to make sure we're still in the clash. We don't want to be losing by 2 or 3 goals because that makes life very difficult for us. So if we are to lose, I don't want us to lose, but if we are to lose, we need to make sure it's very tight and only by 1 goal, because we can turn that round in 15 minutes at the Etihad and all of a sudden we're on a level playing field. So to me, if the opportunity is there for City to put this game to bed, that would be brilliant. But if we can have some kind of result to take back to the Etihad, that would be fantastic. Now, Real Madrid, team news for them. They're led by manager Carlo Ancelotti. City being led by Pep Guardiola, of course, who isn't very well liked in Madrid due to his ties with Barcelona. There we go. Loves Madrid press. I'm looking forward to that. We've already heard about Man City's thoughts on this Jude Bellingham thing and feeling like Real Madrid are just putting that out there to try and unsettle Manchester City like they've attempted with Raheem Sterling in previous seasons, and them saying they were signing Erling Haaland last season at a similar stage when Manchester City went on to sign Erling Haaland instead. City think that it is just fake news and Real Madrid just trying to stir up things in their press. So yeah, fighting talk there from Manchester City. Real Madrid, they're led by Carlo Ancelotti, and with no La Liga in place for them, if City knock Madrid out in the Champions League, I wouldn't rule out Carlo Ancelotti being sacked by Real Madrid, because that's just how they do things. In terms of team news for them, then Ferland Mendy, he's out injured. Eder Militao, he's suspended for this first leg, so he won't be featuring either. That's thanks to yellow cards. Yellow card ruling now has been wiped, so the only way a player can be suspended for the second leg or for the Champions League final is if they get a red card. So yellow cards now a little bit redundant. Now, as I said, Rodrigo did score a brace at the weekend to win them the Copa del Rey. I'm expecting him to start on the right-hand side, Vinicius JR on the left-hand side, with Karim Benzema going through the middle. Modric returned back from injury in what seems to be the quickest recovery time ever of a hamstring injury of less than a week, normally a 3 to 4 week injury. He was back after less than a week and in contention to start this game. So I am expecting Real Madrid to line up with something similar to Courtois starting in goal. Kevin De Bruyne says hi. Carvajal, Rudiger, Alaba and Camavinga starting as their defence. Kroos, Valverde and Modric. We could see Tchouameni potentially starting in midfield. We'll have to wait and see. As I said, I'm expecting Rodrigo to go on the right wing, Vinicius JR on the left wing and Benzema going through the middle. We've got other options like Nacho and no. Unfortunately, it's not the one from Better Call Saul. Tchouameni, who could potentially start in this game as well, along with Vasquez, Celebes, Asensio and Eden Hazard as well. All options there for Real Madrid. We've got dangers all over the pitch. The City need to be careful. City want to get a result here. We need a 10 out of 10 performance. We didn't get a 10 out of 10 performance against West Ham or Leeds United. We were far from our best. We were rotating. We're not rotating. We're going full strength. And I think City are going to put in a very good performance, I've got a feeling anyway, at the Bernabeu for this game. And as I said, it's all about no mercy. This part of the season is all about results. We have a job to do here in Spain to put ourselves in a good position 1 week's time when we play in Manchester against Real Madrid. 8 days separates them, so there we go. Games coming in thick and fast. So, score prediction. My heart's telling me City are going to get a result here. We can go and win. We can pick up a 2-1 like we did a few seasons ago with Gabby Jesus ripping Real Madrid apart. But I have a feeling this might be a very close game. I wouldn't rule out a 2-1 either way. But my head's telling me this might be a draw, a 1-1 or a 2-2. I can see it being both teams to score, so that's my betting tip, along with Haaland bagging any time. Obviously been linked with Real Madrid in the past, so I imagine Erling Haaland here will have a point to prove we want to score against one of Europe's best here, and of course we'll want to grab a goal, I am sure. I can see Rodrigo, he likes to score past us as well, grabbing a goal anytime. I thought about Benzema, but I'm not sure. Ruben Dias has been in good form, so maybe he might be able to stop Karim Benzema. We'll have to wait and see. So moving on to BetMate, today's video sponsor. I'm going with my team first and foremost for this £500 pot, £5 entry fee. I'm going with Courtois, because I think he's going to be having more saves to make than Ederson. I think both goalkeepers will concede. So I'm going with Courtois in goal, and I'll put Ederson on the bench. I'm going with Stones and Carvajal as my 2 defenders. De Bruyne and Bernardo as my 2 midfielders, and Benzema and Haaland as my 2 attackers. On the bench, I've got Ederson, Diaz, Modric, and Rodrigo is my picks for this pot. very equal with the amount of players that I've selected. It's normally very heavily dominated by City, but this is telling you how close I think this game's going to be. So that's my BetMate team for today. As I said, £500 pop, £5 entry fee. Links and details there in the description. It's a free app to download, and if you use code JSGC10 on sign up, you'll get £10 in free bets, and you can use them free bets to join this pot for free. All links and details there in the description. Happy bet mating. Please remember, though, if you are going to gamble, do gamble responsibly, and when the fun stops, stop. Tension, nervousness, success, it all comes down to now. The most prestigious team in the Champions League. We've knocked out an amazing team in Bayern Munich in the quarter-final. Let's see if we can go and do the biggest and the best of them all here in the semi-final and make it to Istanbul. Remember, it is only first 90 minutes of the 180-minute clash. Looking forward to it. In the heat, 28 degrees in Madrid, some cloudy, overcast weather forecast for tomorrow. Potential chance of some rain and thunderstorms. It's going to be very different in Manchester next week. 15 degrees and rain forecast. Got to love it. Looking forward to this game. Should be a good one. As I said, live watch along link. That'll be out later on today for you to go and set your reminders for. So thank you everybody for watching. Much appreciated. Do leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below, including your score and team prediction for this game. Also, don't forget as well to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. And finally, I want to say a big thank you to BetMate for sponsoring this video. Links and details there in the description, and I'll see you all again tomorrow for the live watch along of this game. So I've been JSGC. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.